Yo, what's up, everybody? Super two. Okay, baby, for a part two. I said video I said for this Saturday afternoon, y'all. So I probably this type of story behind the Montgomery legend, man, Doe B, man. So Doe B was a rapper from the Gump. So he was a rapper how he had got killed back around December of 2013. So I did a video about Doe B in the past. So I probably do video different way. On YouTube to talk about how Doe B was was a member. He was a love rapper from the city, man, to where his life was taken. Back then to where three dudes shot him in the club at the time to where Doe B was shot and killed, man, in the club to where it was a type of shooting. I saw over Justin, man, but okay, if we're talking about I guess his life as a rapper and his death and how he got killed, man. I probably picked Doe B, man. So here go, man. Okay, Glenn Thomas known as Doe B is from Montgomery, so he's from Montgomery, so he's from the Gump. So he's a dude that is known by someone called Let Me Find Out, and how he's a rapper. I saw rise to fame, and so Doe B is from the neighborhood called Cloverland. So I think from Ridgecrest area. So I think Montgomery got a lot of hoods, I think so I don't be so yeah. I think Doe B from Ridgecrest area, so he grew up in the hood. So he grew up in the hood, with his mama. That was Shirley Thomas. So I think Doe B I just grew up in the hood to where he wanted to rap and how he wanted to live a type of lifestyle to where he rap. How he want to be, a beach rapper in the Gump and But I said Doe B, man, I guess on the rapper on the rise to come up. So I think he put out a couple hours on the past and how he got signed with T.I. Grand Hustle and so Doe B, man, I guess he grew up in the hood to where I think he was part of the CBM. So I guess the whole CBM known as called Black Music at the time to where Doe B started his rapping career at the time until I think he put out his albums called Definition for Trapper and how I think put out his album called Baby Jesus and how he did his thing But Doe B, man, I guess is the dude, they were making out, man, from the neighborhood they from, from the hood. But yeah, I feel like his life became more hard until he grew up in the hood to where I think his mama went to jail and how I think he, I think went to Florida. And so I think he came back to the, so I think he came back to Montgomery, to, but live out here, to get his rock career going and but so back around 2009, Doe B was shot in the eye. So I had so I read someone to Doe B was shot in the eye somewhere in the hood to where, I think it was somewhere in the hood, west side town to where, I type of fight went on, I did shooting went on to where dude was shot in the eye. Until where Doe B, had a type of eye patch. Until where I guess vision was kind of blurred. I said the gunshot he received it I said his eye, so he got shot in the eye and how he had on how he got his eye recovered. But I feel like over the years, I think his career, started to flourish to where I think he put out his first album called I think Definition for Trapper Part 1. And then he got signed with T.I.'s label. And so I think that dude DJ Friend White, was a manager at the time to where I think he kind of had managed Doe B's career, and but I think the dude's career went over the world, but I think dude DJ Friend White was the type of dude, there was a radio person, so I think he did a lot of I think motion for me artists in Montgomery, but I feel like dude DJ Friend White was the dude that had made Doe B's career go further and how I made until where I think he put out a couple hours and and how I made a lot of videos and stuff, but I feel like I think that I don't know, I feel like this career was more of a type of thing that when he want to want to get his rap career basically I think take off and how he went further and how he was on on his so I think he traveled the whole world throughout the whole down south states like Georgia, probably Alabama too. So I think he did his thing over the world, but yeah, I feel like he's I don't know. I feel like Doe B's life was basically him trying to make it out of man, from the hood. So I feel Montgomery, I don't know, I feel my city do get a lot of artists to make it out, and some got killed, some more rapping, but I feel like Montgomery is the type of small place to where it's kind of hard for anybody to make it out of because things come with it is murder and death, but I feel like there'll be me, I guess, is a dude that want to rap, and so I read someone to where around the year 2013, I think he put out his first single called "Let Me Find Out." So I feel that video went like, I don't know, I feel like this song went over news, over the world, to where the song Let Me Find Out was a hit song, to where Dope B got signed with T.I. And so I seen type of like video on YouTube to where I think T.I. came to Montgomery, and the rapper just Jay, came to Montgomery for the video shoot, to where you see the people, it was in the video how the song Let Me Find Out was his song at the time, to where Dope B was rapping, his hook and and so I seen everybody in the video, I saw everybody in the video, from the hood, from the same hood from, East Chris, out there, but I feel like dude's career went kind of short-lived. I was back around 2013, things started happening to this dude's career to where, there's a beef ensued with the dude, his friend, Derek Thomas, and how I think Derek Thomas was his homeboy, knew him and over the since it was kids going on thing, and but I feel like jealousy even came apart to where Dope B got robbed, in Montgomery, and so I think it's a beef. So I feel like that Dope B will beef with a lot of dudes in the hood. So I feel like it's more of type of street beef, hood drama, to where Dope B was the dude that robbed by his own homeboy, his own partner, man, that on Derek Thomas, and but I feel like the whole beef kind of went over, missing drugs, missing money, man, or so I think the dude there trying to blame Dope B, over trying to steal, some money from the clique. So I feel like it's more of a type of neighborhood side beef that going on, to where I think Montgomery got a lot of hoods. They're involving gangs. How gangs can be about how somebody trying to steal from the mob, how things can get bad, but so I say he get involved with murder, but I feel like Dope B career, was on the top of like I done inspired to where beefs in the hood became real for Dope B, to where Dope B, want to I think move forward. He trying to start, get I think away from Montgomery, but so back around the year 2013, I think he supposed to like do a I heard he supposed to go to Miami to where to do I think the rapper I type of do different white. Someone Miami until I think it put so I think it put so I think it probably do something with the dude for real, and how Dope B, when it come back to Montgomery to start, I don't know, I can't show a little bit this city, man, but I feel like Dope B, final mistake was to come back to Montgomery because so I feel like this dude, Derek Thomas and his homeboys, trying to get at Dope B, man, but I feel like Dope B's final mistake was to come back to Montgomery, but so I had so I heard about to where I think Dope B trying to come back to Montgomery because I think Kimberly I said because the girls name was Kimberly Thomas, so she was turning 22 or 21, I think, until I think people was trying to go to the club downtown Montgomery. So I feel like the Rose Supper Club was the one that went to where I think Dope B, wants to show a little better to his own city, man, to where Dope B, wants to love the rapper and how he got himself killed by showing some love, and so I feel like Dope B, my guess, he came back to Montgomery, basically I can show love back to Montgomery, to girls birthday party in the club returned to the Rose Sub Club was the known as the Type Flight Club, or known as the Rose Sub Club, at the time, to where Dope B, want to show blood back to the city, man. But so I think things started like I feel like things started to get bad to where a couple guys who came to the whole concert or the club, at the time, to where they until Dope B's friends or the homeboys came to the club, until they, at first they trying out to let them inside the club, but to where I think the security guard trying out to let him in the club, and how I think David Thomas was the dude who had trying to like, find Dobie, and how the whole fight ensued to where there's a type of argument went on to where Dobie was so in the club, and how, David Thomas, I still want to like, have a type of squabble with the dude to where David Thomas put out a gun, and how, somebody threw a rock bottle at him to where I threw, start busting shots in the club to where Dobie was shot a couple times, and how I thought Dobie was shot somewhere in the leg to where he bled to death, and how he didn't survive, and to where I think other people was shot too. So I think so I think Kimberly Johnson was shot. So I think the other dude that was Tamarius Hamilton was shot, and so I think both of them had died. So I think Dobie was shot, killed. Kim Johnson was shot, and another dude was shot too in the club. So I think all three of them had died, and but I don't know. I feel like Dobie's life would take it, man, to where Dobie was a rapper, for the gun, but how he got shot, man, back around December of 2013, so he was shot in the club, and to where the whole club was, got little with bullet holes and stuff, and until I think Dobie was shot in the leg, and how he didn't survive, and how he had got himself killed, and so I don't know. I feel like Montgomery Law was a legend, man. I saw it past for years until Dobie's murder was, I think, over the news. I saw over the whole internet to where Dobie murder was a type of cold-blooded case involving jealousy and hate, man, envy, man. But I feel like Dobie was jealous of his homeboys until homeboys, felt jealous of Dobie to where Dobie, wasn't rising artist. I said the whole city, man. But I feel like Montgomery lost one of the legends of our time, Dobie, man. But so yeah, so I think after that happened, the club got shut down. Into I think the other dude, so I think 3 dudes was caught, for the crime. So I think they were trying to receive 85 years for the murder of Dobie, and so that dude, then was Jason. How Jason was, got charged with assault or something. How he got, involved in the whole Devil Dobie, and so that found some other people, So they got the other dude that was Jason, Matt Williams, and the dude that was Tavares Mark was the dude that was involved in the shooting of Dobie. So I think all 3 dudes was caught for the crime, so they got time. But so I think dude that was just so I feel like dude they were telling got 85 years in prison for the murder of Dobie, to where they say that he threw up gang signs first, and how he's trying to argue with Dobie. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess be over type of beef involving street beef. This probably in the hood, to where I think street beef could be over drugs, money, and how it be over. I don't know. It'd be over hate, man. But I feel like Dobie's career was cut short to where he was shot and killed. In the city, man. But I feel like Dobie's life was taken, man, over some 3 cows, man, who's trying to get the dude killed, man, in the club that back then, to where Dobie was was killed. I said got down on the city, man. But I don't know. I feel like the whole stuff about Dobie, man, it can't be real. But to where I think his homeboys, the whole CBM did type of interview. I seen an interview on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, to where I think his homeboys, I guess the whole CBM, I said did type of like an interview saying that they has dated music, because I think there was I think Dobie death affected them to where CBM was doing type of like music in no more, because Dobie's death affected the whole type Montgomery, but and so I think that his mama Shirley Thomas was felt kind of setting off. I said off son's death, to where Dobie's death was more of a tragic end to his life, to where Dobie was gunned down, murdered in in the city, man. But I feel like his death is all to be I don't know. I feel Montgomery probably might never ever cover over Dobie's death, because Dobie death was a tragedy to the city, man, to where like many times, rap get killed on the city, man. I don't know, it be over hate, jealousy, man, be over like somebody want to get the spot. But I feel like Dobie was killed. I get behind I think street beef, street beef that causing them to, kill Dobie, man, off some street beef, but how Dobie, was murdered at the time to where Dobie was killed, so yeah, I pass out peace to Dobie, man. So make sure you like, comment in, try some peace. I'm out here. Take care and peace.